is the new currency in today's marketplace, and this session will delve into how service design and gamification can come together to create engaging and memorable experiences for your customers. Our speaker for this interesting session is Ms. Razan Al-Mazrou, Innovation and Experience Design Director from Digital Government Authority of KSA. Ms. Razan is a digital and innovation seasoned leader with over 12 years of experience working on several digital and business transformation projects across multiple industries, including banking, healthcare, and government. This diversification of industries has yielded her with different perspectives and expanded her horizons and provided her with a varied skill set that helped her succeed in multiple domains. Let's please welcome her on stage with a huge round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you all for staying until this session. And I hope that my session will be the cherry on the top. And I'll try to sit on the same time frame so you guys can go and enjoy the rest of the day with your families. So imagine a world where labor is absolute. Imagine a world where work becomes something from the past. And surprisingly, everything work and function even better than before. And I'm not talking here about a society that is run by a robot. I'm talking here about harnessing the power of play. And I do believe that there is a lot that we can learn from game. And game and gamification will be my topic today, to build better product and experiences. So who plays game? When we look at and we think of a typical segment of gamers, we always think of children, young kids, teenagers, and usually guys who are unemployed, unmarried, and maybe eat kapsa days and night. So this is the typical segment that we always think of. But the actual statistics tell a different story. The gaming industry has boomed in our market in the last years, and according to the numbers, 89% of Saudi population are gamers. And this means the highest per capita. And this was by His Excellency Mohammed Saud al-Tamimi, the governor of Communication Space and Technology Commission, in his PCG summit last year. So this means a very general segment. The Saudi market has become the 19th biggest market in the world. And the gaming revenue has predicted to hit 86 million in Saudi Arabia. If we take a zoom out and look in a holistic view, by 2026, the number of gamers in MENA region, which I mean Middle East and Africa, is expected to reach 88 million. So this means that everyone can be a gamer, and we can find gamers around us. For example, your kids, your parent, your colleague, your friends, everyone around us can be a gamer. So what is gamification? Gamification is the craft of using game thinking and game elements and mechanics in a non-gaming, boring context in which we can increase engagement, solve problems, and build better experiences. And the typical blueprint of gamification consists of PPL, which means or stands for points, badges, and leaderboards. By points, we mean tracking, progress bar, feedback loop. By badges, we mean avatar and status. And eventually, leaderboard, which allow you to compare yourself and compete against others. an actual gamer, what makes you play again or come again and use the product? They will not say because I earn more points or I earn badges. They will usually say that we come back because we feel that we are challenged, we are motivated, we are curious to see what's the next step, and we are out of our comfort zone. And also we are hanging with our friends. So this means for a product manager or a product designer, adding an element of game mechanics is not enough. And after a lot of research and studies and use cases within gamification industry, a smart gamification thinking has started to arise. So what does smart gamification mean? Smart gamification means that game does not start with game element, but start by nudging and triggering certain behaviors and core drives that a human wants to do. It starts with the journey that your customer goes on, not on the mechanics and not on the techniques. And I want to ask the audience this question, if anyone hear about this gamification framework, Octalysis framework. Anyone hear about it? I don't think so. So this is a gamification framework that was developed and laid around 8 core drive. It's a design framework that was established by the young guy, Yu Kai-Chu. So it sits around 8 core drives. And I'm going to talk today about 4 of them. I'll give example and use cases around it, and I'll leave the rest 4 for you to explore. So let's start with the first core drive, which is epic meaning and calling. So you are using a game because you feel motivated to do something special. You feel that you are selected. You feel that you are doing it for a purpose. And an example of this, we can find it in Wikipedia, an open source project. And there is a really good example of this application, which is called a Pain Squad app. So a Pain Squad app was targeted to address young children who are having cancer. So usually for a young child who have this disease, they feel lonely, they feel a lot of pain, they feel weak. And really, they don't have time to update and share their thoughts. So this app gives the child the ability to address and report their daily challenges and daily pain in a good UI and presentation. And they can allow the doctor to diagnose them better, to check their progress, and to see where they are standing today in their health journey. So the idea, or the gamification idea behind this game, is that the child become part of the secret police force. So it's like a game, and they are part of this team, and they need to go and kill the pains, find nearby pains, and try to kill it, or even inspect it or report it. So the children feel more engaged. He feels that he's part of something bigger than himself. And I'll leave this video to demonstrate the purpose of this app. Anyway, it's a good app. Please look at it at home. It has a great story behind it. So let's move on to the second core drive. The second core drive is the development and accomplishment. So it's the core drive which challenge everyone to hit a milestone, to exceed their limit, to feel that they are reaching and overcoming challenges. And a simple example of that, and I believe all of us have this kind of watches that we are using in exercise, which is a Nike Plus and Apple. So it gives you like a daily report of the number of steps that you had each day, the previous week, and once you reach a milestone, it celebrates with you. So the funny thing that our brains always look to have a short-term achievement rather than a long-term. So this type of watches deliver this type of experiences. Another one, which is an educational technology, and Khan Academy, one of the most innovative companies in the world, especially in educational technology, they allow their learner to have courses, and once they get course, they give them points, and once they hit certain courses, they give them a badges, and it's really a good trigger to allow users to engage more and learn more. The same logic also, if you know the IDF, Interaction Design Foundation, have the similar approach. So once you finish a course, it shows you where you stand across the class, also in the regional level. So all of these are gamification examples. The third core drive, which is a social influence and relatedness. And it allows you to work side by side with your community and try to compete with others. And a good example of this, and I hope that we can find it in our public sector, which is O-Power. O-Power is an energy efficiency company, and they had this issue before with the consumption of electricity around their clients. So they did this innovative idea. They allow the user to see a dashboard, and within the dashboard, they see the neighbors behind you and how much they are consumption. So this is a really good indicator that you can see yourself competing with your neighbors, and it gives you the trigger to compete with them and try to lower your consumption. And by this model, 20% of the electricity consumption was decreased. And I hope to see this kind of example in our local companies. Another one, which I personally like, it's a product called Core Wars. So Core Wars is a product that allows you to compete within your household. So you, as a mother or a father, you can give tasks to certain member of your family, and by doing this, everyone can get points. So if you do wash dishing, you get 10 points. If you cook a dinner, you get 20 points. If you wash the kids, you get extra points. So everyone can get a point in a very fun and engagement way. And at the end, your home becomes clean and your duty has completed. So really, it's a good one. The fourth core drive, which is loss and avoidance. This is the opposite to core drive 2, and it allows people to avoid pain or negative consequences. And it's really famous in the e-commerce industry. We can see it on different platforms such as Amazon, such as Black Fridays, coupons that you receive when you put something in the basket and you leave the store. So all of this kind of elements can show you that if you don't do this action now, you will lose the sale or you will lose the product itself. The same concept also happening in another application, which is called Zombie Run. So Zombie Run is a different side from exercising. So you do not exercise because you want to burn your calories. You exercise because you're avoiding being caught by zombies. And it's really fun. I saw a video of it. So you can wear the headphone and someone is talking and give you direction where to go to avoid being eaten by a zombie. It's really fun. So those are the four. I'll leave the rest for you to explore and to get more examples around it. So moving to another chapter, we know that gamification is a great technique, and when we blend it with a smart gamification, it's the optimal solution that we're focusing on. But what are the pitfalls and tips that we need to avoid? So everyone plays games, but they get bored over the time. So gamification itself, by itself, is not a long-term solution. It's not a long-term behavioral change. So the tips that we suggest to have is to blend this with another service design techniques in which you can get a holistic view of the experience that you're trying to build. So you're not narrowed down to only adding gamification element rather than looking at a zoom level. So always have a holistic view and add this gamification element as a top of the cherry. Another pitfall, we always know that rewards the wrong user. So if you have put this gamification element in the wrong user, it won't find valuable. So that's why you need always to conduct upfront efforts. You need to find the right customer upfront, work with them, co-create with them. And as the gentleman mentioned before, do experiment and try to fix as you go and conduct regular user testing so you ensure that your gamification element hits and work with the right customers. The third one, which prioritizing rewards over results. So don't gamify behavior that doesn't add value to your organization. And this means that always think of the intersection between the business goals and the user goal. So always try to find a way to make the objective, the business objective that you're trying to achieve with your product, and blend it with those innovative elements that can add a competitive advantage to your product. And also don't complicate things. Don't complicate the gaming mechanic that you are using. Try to be straightforward. Try to be easy. Try to make it very simple and fun. And don't reward the wrong behavior. Don't make use of this gamification in an extensive way. Just try to take the action that leads to rewards or fulfillment of product objective. And last but not least, our final thought that gamification is 75% physiology and 25% technology. And games give us the unnecessary obstacles that we volunteer to tackle. So a good advice from us to you, for young entrepreneurs, startups, and business leaders who want to invest in this industry, this is really a great opportunity into this industry. Try to build a product, but build with your customer, use of this nice gamification element, blend it with AI, blend it with VR and AR, all of these different technology, and try to build a sustainable product that your customer can and will enjoy and will be loyal and will come back again. Thank you so much for your time.